I don't think there's anybody up here that wouldn't like to roll back taxes for everybody. I mean, who wouldn't want to do that?
Palm Coast City Councilman John Finelli responds to a call from Councilman Ed Danko to roll back the millage rate.
I also think that we have to look at the quality of service and care that we provide to our residents, and are we willing to sacrifice that in rolling back our taxes? I think there's always a way to make both ends meet.
Mayor David Alfin wants the millage rate to stay the same, and Councilman Nick Kloufis agrees.
We're running a very tight ship around here. We have been for years, and it's incredible that we continue to get this level of service out of the budget that we have. Every day I'm thankful for the staff and how hard they work to ensure that the dollar of our taxpayer is spent to the maximum efficiency, and we are able to extract out the maximum amount of quality of life from that dollar.
Councilman Eddie Branchino also agrees.
I find it interesting, borderline hypocritical, that we ask for 370% raise, settle for 150, and now we're asking every department to do more with less. And all of those behind the dais that actually agree with the 4.61, you got my vote on that. In the interest, in the name of the people of Palm Coast that elected us to do the best for them.
The council's first budget hearing is Thursday, September 8th. This local news is a service of Flagler County's Toyota dealer, Beaver Toyota, US 1 St. Augustine, here to wow you.
Another out-of-state fugitive is apprehended by Flagler County Sheriff's deputies. Sheriff Rick Staley says the man was staying at a Palm Coast hotel while working for a broadband internet company.
Deputies, our intelligence unit, and our fugitive unit, along with the U.S. Marshal Service, located the fugitive from South Carolina who was wanted on 2 counts of vehicular homicide. He'd been on the run for a year. No more. Good job by all deputies involved in our partnership with the U.S. Marshal Service.
Staley says the man possessed drugs while being booked into jail, so he now faces felony charges in Flagler County. The man is being held pending extradition to South Carolina. I'm Rich Petchke.
The city of Palm Coast receives a grant for the 15th Intracoastal Waterway Cleanup event.
The Florida Inland Navigation District Commissioner for Flagler County, Randy Stapleford, presented a check to sponsor the city of Palm Coast's 15th annual Intracoastal Waterway Cleanup event taking place September 10th.
It is a delightful day in the life of Palm Coast, our city, to present another check for $5,000 for the Intracoastal Cleanup.
The event attracts volunteers with a passion for protecting and enjoying nature by removing the trash within their developments or along city paths, walkways, and waterways. Mayor David Alfin.
Our fine friends at FIND, the Florida Inland Navigation District, has worked tirelessly with us to clean up our waterways.
Over 15 years, FIND has awarded the city of Palm Coast a total of $75,000 in sponsorship funding for the Intracoastal Waterway Cleanup. For Flagler's Morning News, I'm Karen Johnson.
Last week's election for the Flagler County School Board District 4 seat resulted in Christy Chong defeating incumbent Trevor Tucker. Chong says they took a different approach to get the word out on her candidacy.
I work, so what I was able to do was talk to my patients every day, as well as my husband was also able to communicate with his customers. So we kind of got a lot of traction that way, I felt like, and when we were able to spread the word, just talking to people every single day.
On defeating a longtime board member,
we are for parental rights, we're for the parents having a voice and, being there for our kids so that we could just do the best thing for them. And I feel like a lot of people just resonated with that and with everything going on in the past few years. So I think it's time for a change. So I'm really happy and just thankful to all the voters and excited.
Chong will be serving a 4-year term. Why would we not need an emergency medicine physician?
Dr. Kristen McCabe is an emergency medicine physician and the director of Flagler County EMS. She said that there are ways to prevent an emergency, thus not needing her.
Ultimately, if we are true to trying to keep people well, there is always going to be a need for emergency services. But if we're true to our mission and we best serve one another, that we will profit from that.
Dr. McCabe said that public safety is a part of preventing the need for emergency medicine.
When you've taken care of a pediatric patient with a preventable death, it changes you.
The Flagler Voice is on the radio Saturday mornings at 8:30 or anytime on the Flagler radio app. Tomorrow, how did COVID affect emergency medicine in Flagler County? From the WNZF Newsroom, I'm Deb Albertson.
And now you're up to date on Flagler's Morning News. I'm Rich Carroll.